What's up YouTube, my name is Byrdman778 and welcome to another Tribes of Midgard video. Today I'm going to be covering the best way to start off Saga mode, a couple different tips and tricks like that, just to get yourself started in the world and what you need to exactly do to really survive in that solo. Now, know that this will also be applicable for group play as well. It's going to be probably a little bit easier in group play because you're going to have other people to depend on, but if you are playing solo, these are going to be some great tips for you. Now, I'm more likely streaming on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Byrdman778. Starting every single day at noon Eastern Standard Time. Going to be grinding out a lot of this Tribes of Midgard content. This is already such a fun game. Big thanks to Gearbox for the early access they gave me to the game. But again, this is gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a banger. Also, check out the other videos we're gonna be posting here on YouTube, youtube.com/Byrdman778. Give it a thumbs up, a sub, all that fun stuff. And then also check out my Twitter, twitter.com/Byrdman778 for some extremely subpar tweets and content there. Now, let's dive right onto the video. Now, one of the first things you need to do is get your first starter set. Starter sets are going to be these customizable sets that essentially you'll load into the world with them, whether it's going to be getting extra souls, getting crafting material, getting full sets of armor and weapons. All that stuff is going to be applicable at some point in the game. But to get your first one, the one I think is most important, you have to get the Common Crafter achievement. The way you're going to do that is go in and get either a flint pickaxe or a flint lumber axe. Once you do that, you'll get the achievement and you'll essentially just save quit immediately. This is super simple. All you gotta do is go around, grab a couple pieces of flint, some twigs, and then you almost immediately have it. You don't really have to worry about that world you just created. Now, once you get that, you need to save and quit and go back into your achievements and make sure you claim that reward. Once you do that, you can go over to the customization tab and activate your first set. This will make sure that you're starting in the game with a good piece of armor and a weapon, so you're able to almost completely skip that step of needing to armor yourself up and get weapons. You can focus more on getting materials to load up your village, or just be able to run around the world without having to worry about that almost immediately. This is obviously going to expand over time. We're going to get better pieces of armor more than likely as starter sets, or just find better ways to start off, whether it's getting extra souls, getting that extra crafting material, whatever it might be. These starter kits are going to be huge for Saga mode. The second thing I'd really recommend is make sure you're checking out those small camps around you. There's going to be small camps of enemies that you're going to be able to fight, run up to them, essentially just be able to beat them almost immediately. That's why that first starter kit is going to be so big, because you're almost immediately able to hit the ground running combat-wise and get some more material and souls. Now, this will essentially be able to get you the first couple camps around your area, depending on which level they are, whether they're the small, the medium, or the hard camps. But regardless, you'll be able to at least get the small and the mediums just off of that first starter kit alone. But by doing that, again, you're going to be able to get those souls to not only upgrade your village, but also be able to get some more material and stuff like that future on. Again, this is also going to be a great way to get XP to start off, to make sure you're able to consistently level up throughout your world. The third thing I'm going to recommend is whenever the Hellflings show up at nighttime, essentially the first 2 nights, if you're playing solo, you can just kind of leave it and let the villagers do it themselves. What I would recommend is, though, in between the first to second round, maybe go in and refill your tree a little bit if you have some extra souls. But regardless, the townspeople are kind of badasses and are able to do a lot of it, especially the mage. She has been able to do a lot for me as well, and the trapper, who's able to throw essentially this big old AoE fire grenade that kills a lot of enemies. Now, once you hit those future nights, what I really recommend is to fill up one gate with as much building material as you can to essentially fortify it, and essentially let the other 2 that you haven't fortified just fill in with the hell spawn. You'll be able to pretty much handle most of that if you are at that point, whether you've been upgrading yourself or upgrading your different areas. So upgrading the blacksmith, upgrading the mage, making sure that they are at the applicable level to fight with you. But do know that that makes it a little bit easier for you, because you can essentially just block off one area and just let the other 2 feed in, so you're able to run back and forth and handle those nighttime areas a lot easier. Quick note with that, I would recommend, as you've been leveling up by day 4-ish, you should try to get yourself a dark sword. I notice a lot of the enemies throughout the world have those purple health bars, so that's going to be really good for essentially just in general combat and being able to take them out as fast as you can, especially for those nighttime areas, since most of the health things, besides like the big daddies, have those purple health bars. The fourth thing that I'd recommend comes for the Jötnar. Most of them are actually pretty simple to take down, except the fact that they're just giant health sponges. the fire, the ice, and the storm Jotun are actually pretty simple to take down, and you can do it solo by yourself. I would really recommend, again, getting one of those dark swords, essentially being able to level yourself up, make it a little bit faster for you to kill, and also make sure you're focusing into your blessings as whichever character you are. Right now, I've been fighting as a warrior pretty nonstop, just because there's a lot of good damage sources. I have an extra node that gives me more damage on my last combo hit, so that's really helpful against those Jotun, especially making sure I'm doing as much damage as possible. Now, once you defeat those Jotun, obviously you got some time to kind of like run back to your village, level up and stuff like that. But do know with the Witch Jotun, you are going to have to element match no matter what. You need to have that dark sword. Why? Because she spawns in a lot of hellspawn with her as well. So you need to be able to have something that's able to take them out really fast while also being able to do damage to her as well. And the fifth thing I would recommend is essentially just supporting the game. The customization of this game so far seems pretty amazing, especially in their shop. They do have items pre-purchasable. Wait. Oh my gosh. They do have items that are purchasable through buying in-game currency, or you can essentially just go through that battle pass that they have on there and get the coins from there. But do you know that essentially this is the way that the game is going to be able to be supported long term? So if you got a couple bucks, maybe spend it, get that cool rainbow sword, get that giant bear head or something like that. Regardless, this is going to be an awesome game for a long time, especially the fact the roadmap that they've set out. You can check out my other video, top 5 things to know about Tribes of Midgard before launch, and we kind of discussed a little bit the saga, the survival, and just the longevity of the game. Thank you so much for stopping by this video. I hope you enjoyed this starter guide. Essentially, I'm going to be constantly updating this as well, giving better tips and tricks. We might be releasing some little YouTube shorts to kind of help out with that as well. But remember, just stop by the stream, twitch.tv/Byrdman778. We're going to be on every single day for the next forever playing this game, because so far it is such an absolute banger. Make sure you're checking me out on YouTube and Twitter. Oh my gosh. Make sure you check me out on YouTube and Twitter as well, at Byrdman778, for just subpar content. Drop a like on this video, and I just appreciate you guys. Have a great night, day, whatever it may be.